Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I love listening to English podcasts. I listen on the bus, when I'm cooking, even before I sleep. But my problem is I don't feel like I'm improving very fast. I listen and listen, but when I speak, it's still difficult.
And I'm Sam from the English Academy. If you feel like Sarah, listening a lot but not seeing clear progress, this episode is for you.
And I'm Lena. Today, we're going to show you how to use podcasts to learn English in a smart way, not just for listening, but also for speaking fluency.
Many learners press play, listen one time, and then move to the next episode. That's fun, but it's not the best way to really learn.
So in this lesson, we'll talk about how to choose podcast, how to listen actively, and how to turn podcasts into speaking practice.
Before we start, if you enjoy learning with us, please subscribe to the English Academy and like this video. It helps a lot.
And share this lesson with a friend who also listens to English podcasts so you can try these tips together.
All right, Lena, let's begin with a simple question. Why are podcasts such a good tool for learning English?
Well, podcasts are great because they give you real English from real people, different voices, accents, and topics from daily life.
You can listen anywhere, on the bus, in the car, while walking at the gym. That means you can add English to your day without extra time.
And unlike live conversation, you can pause, rewind, and listen again as many times as you want. That's perfect for learners.
But there's a big difference between just listening for fun and listening with a learning plan.
Exactly. If you only listen like background music, your brain gets used to the sound, but your speaking and vocabulary might not grow much.
So our goal today is to show you how to use any podcast actively, so each episode gives you new phrases and better listening and speaking skills.
Let's start with how to choose a good podcast for your English level.
First, think about level. If the podcast is much too easy, you'll get bored. If it's much too difficult, you'll feel lost and discouraged.
A good rule is, if you can understand around 60 to 80% with effort, it's probably a good level for learning. You don't need 100%.
Next, think about topics. It's important to choose podcasts you actually enjoy, stories, daily life, news, interviews, hobbies, anything you like.
If you like the topic, you will listen more, and that's the key to improvement. If you hate the topic, you'll stop quickly.
Length is also important. For beginners, shorter is better, maybe 3 to 10 minutes. For intermediate learners, 10 to 20 minutes is fine.
Remember, it's better to study a short episode deeply than to half understand a long episode and forget it.
If possible, it's also helpful to find podcasts that have transcripts, the text of what people say.
With a transcript, you can listen first, then read, then listen again. It helps you connect sound and spelling.
But you don't always need text. Sometimes it's good to listen without reading and let your ears work more.
So, when choosing a podcast, ask yourself, can I understand a good part of it? Do I enjoy the topic? Is the audio clear? Is there a transcript if I want to read later?
Once you've chosen a podcast, the next question is, how do I use one episode in different ways?
Let's talk about 3 ways to use a single podcast episode for easy listening, for study, and for speaking practice.
First way, easy listening. This is when you listen while doing other things, walking, cleaning, cooking.
In this mode, don't worry about understanding everything. Just enjoy the sound, try to catch a few words, and let your brain get used to English.
This is like ear training. You're showing your brain, these sounds are normal. English is part of my day.
Second way, study listening. Here you sit down and focus on a small part of the episode, maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes.
Step 1. Listen to that short part without text, just to see what you can catch.
Step 2. Listen again, this time with the transcript if you have it, and check the words you missed the first time.
Step 3. Choose 2 or 3 useful phrases from that part. Not just single words, but phrases like, you know what I mean? To be honest. That sounds interesting.
Write those phrases in your notebook and then say them out loud several times. This connects your listening and speaking.
Third way, speaking practice. This is where we turn the podcast into a speaking partner.
One powerful method is shadowing. You listen to one sentence, pause, and then try to say the sentence exactly like the speaker.
You follow their rhythm, stress, and intonation. It's like vocal karaoke for English.
Start with just 1 or 2 sentences. Repeat each one a few times. Don't worry if you are not perfect. Your mouth is learning.
Another speaking exercise is to give a short summary of the episode in your own words.
For example, you can say, "This episode was about learning English with podcasts. They talked about choosing the right level and using transcripts."
Even if your summary is simple, you are practicing building sentences and speaking without reading.
So, one single podcast episode can give you easy listening, focused study, and speaking practice.
Now, let's put everything together into a short daily routine you can actually do.
Imagine you want to use podcasts for 15 minutes a day. Here's a simple plan.
First 5 minutes, easy listening. Play a podcast while you make coffee or get ready. Just listen once, no pause.
Next 5 minutes, active listening. Sit down and choose a small part, maybe 30 to 60 seconds.
Listen to that part 2 to 3 times. If there is a transcript, check it.
Then choose 2 or 3 phrases you like and say them out loud a few times.
Last 5 minutes, speaking practice. Shadow 1 to 2 sentences from that part, then say a very short summary of what you heard.
If you follow this small routine, you will train your ears, your brain, and your mouth all in 15 minutes.
And remember, doing 15 minutes every day is much more powerful than 2 hours just once on the weekend.
Let's also talk about some common mistakes people make when learning with podcasts.
Mistake number 1, choosing podcasts that are too difficult.
If you understand almost nothing, you will feel tired and maybe think, "My English is terrible," which is not true.
Mistake number 2, only half listening all the time, always washing dishes or scrolling your phone.
Half listening is okay sometimes, but you also need focused time if you want to grow.
Mistake number 3, listening to an episode only once and never returning to it.
Real learning often happens when you listen again. The second and third time, you hear more details and new phrases.
You don't need to understand 100%. Aim to understand just a little more than last time.
Another important mindset tip: be patient. Podcasts are not magic. They help slowly over weeks and months, not overnight.
But if you use them regularly, they can change your listening, your vocabulary, and even your speaking confidence.
Let's imagine Sarah again. At the beginning, she said she listens a lot but doesn't feel progress.
If Sarah starts using this 15-minute routine, easy listening, active listening, and speaking every day, in a few months she will feel the difference.
She will recognize more phrases, understand more of what she hears, and find it easier to open her mouth and speak.
Now it's your turn. We have our question of the day for you.
What is one English podcast or channel you like, and how will you use it this week to practice?
For example, you can write, "I listen to the English Academy, and I will repeat 2 phrases every day," or "I listen to a news podcast and I will shadow 1 sentence.
Write your answer in the comments below. It's a great way to practice, and we love reading your ideas.
If this episode helped you understand how to learn with podcasts, please like the video and subscribe to the English Academy.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and remember, small, consistent practice makes a big difference over time.
Thank you so much for learning with us today.
See you in the next episode of the English Academy.